Today we are going to talk about my best tip for dining on the Island Princess, and it might carry over to other princess ships as well. We also need to talk about Carnival. They're raising the price on something else, which we're hearing across all cruise lines, so I'm not picking on Carnival with this, as well as I'm going to tell you about our day in Alesund, Norway. Maybe I'm also going to give you some guidance about when to come to Norway based on what you want to see. So we've got a lot to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Alison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is October 16th of 2023, so will you please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already? Would love to have you with us, and I think you will enjoy coming along and being part of our Let's Go family. Also, if you enjoy my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? It actually helps us out with YouTube. Now, the first story is Rhapsody of the Seas. If you're new around here, Rhapsody of the Seas has been sailing round trip from Haifa. And with the events unfolding in Israel, they had to cancel their next few cruises out of Haifa. But today, the Rhapsody of the Seas sailed from Haifa, taking Americans who wanted to evacuate and move to perhaps a safer location. They worked with the U.S. Embassy on that, and what they're doing is it was done. They notified Americans. It is first come, first serve. Embarkation started at 8 o'clock this morning, their Haifa time, and everyone got on, as many as the ship could hold. They are sailing to Limassol, Cyprus, and on board they had U.S. consulate members to help people plan their travel, onward travel from there to get home. So hats off to Rhapsody of the Seas for helping out. I'm glad that they're there to help, and I am really just happy to see some positive coverage on cruise ships. So I thought I would bring that to your attention. Now, along with that, I have received a lot of emails as well as texts from dear friends wondering about sailing to the Mediterranean with all of this going on. I know that people have cruises scheduled clear from now, immediately in the near future, clear out, through 2025, and are trying to figure out what to do. For me, what I am thinking, and this is just me, and I am talking about this because I want to start the conversation here. I know that we've got a lot of us with us, and I would like to hear what you think. Now, as far as going to the Mediterranean, I wouldn't be worried about going there right now. If I had a Mediterranean cruise next week, I would still go, and I wouldn't be worried about it. That's just me. But so in saying that, I would keep a very close eye on the news, and I know that the cruise lines will do that as well. So I feel like, me personally, I would still go. Now, for cruises that we have got planned down the road, Gordon and I have a Mediterranean cruise with that inaugural on the Sun Princess, sails February 8th. We'll be seeing how everything is going and how everything is shaping up when it's time to go there, and especially 90 days out when our final payment is due. Along with that, if you've got a sailing next year, let's look and see how things are shaping up, what the cruise lines are doing with the itineraries. The way things are looking right now, I'm honestly going to say I'll be surprised if we get to go to Israel and Egypt next year on our celebrity cruise. I'll be really surprised, but I'm not canceling. And if it is still safe and we are going to places in Greece or Turkey where they reroute us to, I'm still going to go because I love to go to that region of the world. And if it's safe, I'm going to go. And so want to put that out there. So I think, to me, it's premature to cancel your cruises early if that's where you want to go. But at the same time, always be vigilant, keep an eye, and if it comes time for you to go and you are still really worried about it, then don't go, because it's not fun going on a trip that you're really worried. And it doesn't have to matter if there is an imminent worry. If you just feel concerned about it, that's enough, because it's you, okay? Remember that. You don't have to go if you're worried about it, even if someone else isn't worried about it. Because sometimes I don't do things and I'm the only one that's worried about it, but that's enough for me. So wanted to put that out there. The next thing that we need to talk about is Carnival. Carnival is increasing their price on Faster to the Fun. Now, like I've told you all, I am excited to go on my first Carnival cruise the first week of November. So I'll take you along with me and let you see what that's like and what I think about everything. But Faster to the Fun is a program, and I know that Carnival started it as another income stream for them, but I think it's actually a value. The way it works first of all, is you pay the flat rate for the cabin. So it applies to everyone in the cabin. So if there's just one, you know, it's one person, but if you've got four, you don't have to pay it 4 times. And the way it works is you pay for that, and then you get priority embarkation on embarkation day. And not only that, but when the rooms are still not ready yet, you can still take your stuff to the cabin and drop it off. They actually also expedite the delivery of your luggage to your cabin faster. And then I think the best perk about it is on the days that you have a water shuttle port, so you have to take that tender over to the shore, you get priority water shuttle service, and that really can make a big difference. And so to me, that's worth it. Of course, look at your itinerary and decide if it's worth it for you to pay for that on the cruise that you're going on. So I'll tell you really quickly how the prices are changing. For most of them, it's gone up $10 from what it was in 2023. These are the prices announced for 2024. All right. So for 2 to 3 night cruises, it is $69.95 for a cabin. 4 to 5 night cruises, it's $99.95. For 6 to 8 night cruises, it's $139.95. And I'll tell you, you just pay that one time. It's not every day or anything. You pay that one time. And then on a 9+ night cruise, anything 9 nights and over, it's $189.95. The only difference is that when you go on those 6 to 8 night cruises on the brand new ships that Carnival's got, the Mardi Gras or the Celebration, and that will include the new Jubilee coming at the end of this year, it's going to be $159.95 for that, rather than the $139.95 that it is for the 6 to 8 night cruises on their other ships. Okay. So I hope this will help you as you navigate, look at your itinerary, decide what you need to do. You also get priority debarkation. And when you go on a cruise, this might help you out a little bit if you haven't already been. There are 2 ways that you can disembark. You can either get off, and they call it self-assist. In doing that, you take all of your luggage with you. You just take it from your cabin, you manage it all the way down, you get off the ship, and off you go. Or you can do it so that the night before you put your luggage out, the crew members will take it down so that in the morning when you disembark the ship, it is in the cruise terminal. You pick it up, you're going to have a tag given to you by the cruise line that is color coded and number coded so that you can find it there in the cruise terminal. So either way you do it, you get priority disembarkation. Okay, so as soon as the platinum and diamond people disembark with the self-assist that they get priority before you do, then you can disembark. All right, so that's another perk if you want to get off the ship quick, whether you've got an early flight or parked there and you want to head home. So there you go. That's faster to the fun with Carnival. So we have 2 huge announcements from Princess regarding dining today, okay? And it comes just at the time I wanted to give you my input on what is just a good tip for dining on board the Island Princess, and I would hope on all the other Princess ships, okay? We long have discussed food here on Princess, and so this is really a big deal. You might remember that Princess announced the 360 experience. We have talked about it here on our channel several times, but it is only on a few of the ships. And the way it works is historically you had to be invited, or you had to be in a suite or book a suite for another cruise. And like I said, people have been invited to attend that experience other than if they were in a suite or booking a suite, okay? But the really exciting news is now you can book that 360 experience on your own. You sit in a circle, that's where we get the 360. There is video that shows behind you, music comes with it. It's a Mediterranean dining experience that is supposed to appeal to all your senses, your sight, your hearing, your smell. There's a narrator, and delicious food. So if you want to book that, you can now do that. It's going to be $149 a person, which I believe is how much the chef's table is with alcohol. And so with the chef's table, you can also book it without alcohol unless they have changed that. It used to be $99, but so I don't know that you can do that with it. Is not in the information I have found, I have not seen that you can book the 360 experience without alcohol, but I can let you know, okay? So it's Yes, so on a ship that you're going to be on, you can go ahead and make reservations for that. I looked in our app and I cannot see reservations available yet to book on any of the ships that we have a cruise on that has a 360 experience. So I don't know if that's going to be like the chef's table, that you can't do that in the app. You have to do it once you get on board the ship, or how it's going to work, but I'm going to keep you up to date with it. But I thought it was really exciting because people have wanted to do it. We've wanted to do it, and I've never been invited to do it. So I'm really excited that that's going to be an option now. And the other thing that is a really big deal is their other big announcement is Princess has announced that they joined forces with Dario Cecchini, Macellalaio, because I don't know how to pronounce that, who is apparently the world's most famous butcher, and they are going to present a restaurant called the Butcher's Block by Dario, which is going to be a special bistro on the Sun Princess. They are going to have an upscale menu crafted by this chef at the Crown Grill that will be available also, and it is going to feature the coveted, it's a dish called bistecca alla Fiorentina. So look for new things coming. It sounds like Princess is trying to kick up their game when it comes to dining, as far as offering another bistro on board and offering what they've got on the Crown Grill. So that is a really great segue into what I want to talk to you about my best dining tip here on the Island Princess, okay? Alrighty, since we have been here on the Island Princess, we have been dining in the main dining room every evening for dinner. We have only hit the main dining room for breakfast one time, and it was great. The service was great, and there is a very nice selection of what they offer you for breakfast. So that's really nice. Other than that, we have just been eating in the main dining room at dinner time. So let me tell you what I have noticed about that. So as I have said, I've decided I'm just going to tell you the food is fine. It really is fine. It's not remarkable. It's not horrible. It's right up the middle, I would say. Some of the evenings that we have eaten in the main dining room, one of them I remember, I thought it was excellent. Other than that, it's been okay to not great. And so what I figured out, and so you have to figure out what's going to work for you, how you're going to enjoy your dinner every evening, and what you would maybe look forward to when you look at the menu and you're not sure about what to try. I have really enjoyed the fettuccine Alfredo. I mentioned that in a live or in another video, but I want to tell you that they do a really good job with that. So if you really enjoy good fettuccine Alfredo, that is a really good option. When I had it on the Emerald Princess, that was excellent as well. Now, Gordon has gotten the fettuccine Alfredo a couple of times. One time he asked for it with shrimp, and they did a lovely job, and one time he ordered it with mushrooms and shrimp with it as well, and that turned out great. I just got mine plain, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it, as have several members of our Let's Go family who are in our group. That's been a really good dish a lot of us have enjoyed. So I want to put that out to you as something that has been good every time I have tried it on the ship. You don't have to worry about whether or not the cut of meat is superb. You don't have to worry about if the oil is hot enough when they cook your fish. It's just a really good option, okay? Just wanted to let you know about that. As well as the other thing about being on the Island Princess that I noticed was a lot the same with the dining in the main dining room is when I was on the Emerald Princess, I was clearly by myself, and I just went when I wanted to eat. And they were very kind to accommodate me every time. This time on the Island Princess, we have thoroughly enjoyed having a set dinner at 7:30 p.m. Now, it's really interesting. We ended up with a late dining time of 7:30 p.m. because I had initially made a time with the groups department for our group, and I don't know what happened to that reservation, but it's gone. So when I got on board, I talked to the maitre d', and that was the best he could do to accommodate us, which I get, because then everyone for their groups had made, they already had the larger group seating times. So I was a little bit concerned it was late, but that's all we had. You know what? It has worked out beautifully. You can have your breakfast, you can have a little bit of a, lunch, and if you're hungry in mid-afternoon, just have a light snack. It gives you time to go back to your cabin and relax, and then you can go to dinner refreshed at 7:30, ready to go to the show, ready to go to listen to whatever music you want. We have been able to be out of the main dining room in plenty of time to go get seats for the 9:30 show every night. that has worked splendidly. So kind of think outside of the box a little bit when you're on a cruise. Try some different times and see what works out really nice for you. Alrighty, now together. Now I wanted to tell you a few things about Alesund, Norway. So we were there yesterday and we were there on a Sunday. So I'm just throwing that out there. I really hope that cruise lines, I wish they would pay. Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do. But it's not my favorite thing to go to a cruise port on a Sunday because a lot of times things are closed and that really affects the way that you experience the town. Whether you're on a walking tour, whether you're on an excursion, it is still fabulous to visit places. We were in the Shetland Islands on a Sunday in July, and then yesterday in Alesund, Norway. Here are some things to keep in mind when you're trying to decide when to visit Norway, alrighty? These are just tip of the iceberg things, but I've been getting questions about it, so here we go. If you want to go on a cruise where you sail in and out a lot of fjords, that you're going to see a lot more of the country, go during the summertime. When you go, you know, they've got those amazing midnight sun cruises. Holland America has some really good ones. I love Princesses. We did the Land of the Midnight Sun one at the end of June in 2018 and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So lots, like I said, Holland America's got great itineraries. Princess has great itineraries. When you want to, so, and that's the best way I would say to see, like to focus on fjords, focus on, and when we did that, it went clear up to Honningsvåg. We got to go clear up there into the Arctic Circle. It was superb. This itinerary is a really good one to go on if you want to see those northern lights. It is built around having time to see the northern lights. It would be ridiculous to sail that far north into the Arctic Circle, into Alta, and turn around and come back without an overnight and without those other stops up there in Tromsø and Lofoten. That would be that would really cut down on the time that you would have to see them based on weather and everything to allow more time. And this was perfectly done to do that. It is in the fall. You don't see the northern lights in the summertime because it's too light. So you have to go when it gets dark early enough and when it is the time of the year that they're the most active. This is also the time of year that you're going to see any snow. For example, as we were coming back down, a lot of places are closing now. The cruise ships are not going to keep going up there later in the season because it gets too cold. And so a lot of the places close. So if you want to go at a time that you're going to see the snow, have the chance to have snow on you, this is the time, this is the cruise to go on that. So I would say you kind of have to weigh out the experience that you want. We saw a lot of beautiful things here in Norway this time. I would say that it missed a lot of the ports that you're going to see on the ones where you sail in and out of fjords that you get more in the summertime. And you can do that at this time of year, but when you think of a 2-week cruise and our goals with the Northern Lights, you just don't have time to do everything, okay? So think about that. You know what, and there are really good and bad things about, not bad, there are pros and cons to both. This time it was colder, but it wasn't so cold that it wasn't okay. It was cold, but you can dress for that. It was just fine, and I would not trade getting to see the Northern Lights. They were spectacular, and you just stand there and you look at the sky, and it is a really very special experience. So I wouldn't trade that for anything. I also wouldn't trade going in the summertime and seeing the midnight sun when it just dips down to the horizon and it rises again. That is also a wonderful experience. You get to see that, and you can go in and out of those fjords, see them in the summertime. It is just an amazing experience. So just be aware of what you're choosing when you choose your Norway cruise, and if you can do both, I absolutely recommend both. They're both unique and special in their own way. You will find that you hit a couple of ports the same sometime. We had already been to Alesund, Norway. We had been to Tromsø. We had been to the Lofoten Islands, and so the chance to go back. We'd been to Stavanger. We missed that port on this cruise because of weather, but you hit a few of them the same, but then you miss a whole bunch, right, to be able, like I said, to accommodate for that. So keep all of that in mind. If you've got questions, if you would like to go to Norway on a cruise, I am a travel agent, and I would be delighted to help you with that, since I've been to the places several times now, and can help you decide what would really meet the goals of what you want. So just send me an email.
You have Alesund in the south, you have Kristiansund in the north, and then you have Molde, my city, squeezed in the middle of those two. And despite that, Alesund by far is the biggest city in this region. It has a very large population. My city, Molde, is only about 35,000 people. Then they have Kristiansund in the north with only about 25,000. So Alesund is by far the biggest city in this region. But despite the fact that it has the biggest population, there's also the worst football team in all of Norway. So Alesund is currently in last position in the league here, and I'm saying that because we are passing by the football stadium on the right there. So, but my city of Molde is the winner of last year's league, and we're also in the cup final this year. So it's going to be a nice one thing to produce one very special fish. And this one in Norwegian is called klippfisk. And what it is a cod fillet that's been dried and salted on the cliffs, hence the name cliff fish. But you in English would know this fish as stockfish, and it's a big thing, a big industry in this region. It's a dried and salted codfish, and as one dried fish said. Soon we are entering the Sjøholt, which pretty much means a sea stop or end of the bay, if you like, sea halt, Sjøholt. And in that place they have a nice gas station, and we in Norway, we are a strange, quite strange people. We have so much fish in the sea, we have so much wild animal in the mountains, and etc. But for a strange reason, we also like fast food in this country. And Norway now is the second most eating hot dogs in the world. Germans are number one, and then Norway is on second place when it comes to hot dogs. And the gas station we are passing by later has probably the best hot dog in all of this region. Right, Knut? Yeah, he likes it well. And our favorite is a trailegger, I think. Trailegger is a chili cheese hot dog with bacon wrapped around it. It's a lovely thing. So if you fish on this dried and salted codfish from Norway to Portugal, and the Portuguese would then send coffee from Brazil back to us in Norway. So in that trade, that means that we drink an insanely amount of vi spiller 7 timer, så kan du det blir priset for over 1000 lapp. Det regner jo så lenge altså. There we are. Trasfield, you are ready to renew about 10 years old this bridge. Before this size for a city would be roughly between 25,000 up to 50,000 people. It's a normal city in Norway. This bridge is also quite popular for people going fishing, because underneath us we have a quite strong current, and there's lots of fish living in the sea here. So it's quite common to see people standing on top of the bridge here and then fishing. You can do so all year long and wherever you want, no problem. If you want to go fishing in sweet water or fresh water, then you have to wait until the season, of course. And the freshwater season is normally from 1st of May until 23 of September. And then of course you also have to buy a fish card if you want to go fishing in the freshwater. We're gonna pass by a couple of places now, a couple of small places, and there's a lot of farmers in this area as well. And you probably notice, or you're going to notice it now, but every single farm in this country all have the same color. Every single one of them have all the same color. So every farm in Norway always going to be red. And this one, the white is the color red, and also gold jewelry has been lost. And last week they're making a new road called the Europe Road 6, and they have to dig up new places in the farmland. And I found a quite large gold treasure in that area. The place that we're going to visit later is very popular for people going base jumping. So we're going more into farmland now, guys. More into farmland. So if you are driving 20 kilometers above the speed limit, like now it's 60 right now. So if you're driving 80 in this area, you get a hefty fine. And in Norway, you have to pay about 10% of what you made in income last year as a fine. So if you made $50,000 in 1 year, then you have to pay $5,000 in a fine if you're driving too fast. And then up to the right there, you can probably see it. Behind that farm, there's some yellow houses, and that's military houses. And in Norway, most of the houses on military bases always going to be the yellow color. Behind that farm is a home guard base. So guys, we are soon at the first stop, and this is the museum. And inside there, they're normally showing a movie as well. And the movie is about 15 minutes, and it's about the mountains and the mountain climbing in this area. So in that museum, we have roughly about 40 minutes break or so, guys. 40 minutes break. And after we've been at the museum, we're going to go a little bit further up the mountains, and we're going to go to the very famous and beautiful Trolls Wall. Right inside, guys, right inside you have a river, and this is a big, nice, majestic river. And this river is called Rauma. And this one comes from a lake up in the mountain called Alesund, which is a tricky name for you to say. But the water up there, the inland water, is quite special because it's the only inland water that a river will flow out from the south, and the river will flow out from the south and north. Because that lake up there is drained from the south and north with rivers. So it's quite special. It's the only lake in Norway that does that. And this lake is lots of fish. Lots of fish in this area. Lots of big salmon and also big trouts as well. But unfortunately now is the end of the fishing season. You cannot go fishing in this river in the winter time. Normal, a normal size for a trout in this area will be around 3 to 500 grams or so. 3 to 500 grams for a trout. And the salmons will be up to 6 or 7 kilos big. But there was a local guy not too far away from where we are going to have lunch, and he caught a new record, a big salmon that was 13 kilos big. A massive salmon. Those places in Austria as well. I just moved back from Philippines during the pandemic. Yeah, I was a scuba instructor.
Scuba?
Yeah. It's horn of Romsdal, and it's a big horn stretching to the top of the mountain. And it's quite spectacular as well because each summer here in Alesund there is a music festival, and the opening concert for the music festival takes place on top of the mountain.
Wow.
So they will take helicopter and fly up to the band with speakers and everything and drums and all that. And then if people want to go in and see the concert, they have to climb that mountain. So we're gonna have about a 20 minutes break, guys. 20 minutes break. We should be leaving roughly 11:40. Roughly 11:40.
This is Romsdal. And this right here is where they do all their base jumping and everything, but you can't see the top.
Akavit directly translated is meaning water of life. One of the reasons is because inside the fjords, before they were making boats, and they were making a special boat called fjording, which means literally fjord boats. And the design of that fjord boat was the same in every single fjord, and the matter the planks was so a large portion of Norway is above the Arctic Circle. So for 3 months in the summertime, the sun doesn't move at all. The sun is still up there for 3 months, and then it changes for 3 months in the wintertime. The sun is gone for 3 months. So in the wintertime when we go skiing, it doesn't get too dark actually because you have the white snow. And the white snow will actually light up a little bit, but in the ski resorts they all have lights. So they all have lights. So in the south of Norway and the north of Norway, and the south of Norway is more light than in the north of Norway. The north of Norway in the wintertime is completely dark. So that means that every place in the ski resorts in northern Norway all have floodlights. In the south of Norway, all the way in the south of Norway, you do have some sun. You have about 6 hours of sunlight in the middle of the winter time there. So the opening times for the ski resorts will vary. All depends on how late you are in the season. So the beginning of the season for the ski resorts here in Norway, it closes at 2:30, and then at the end of the season it closes 3:30 because then it's more light at the end of the season. So all depends, but many places has like floodlights, and that means also open for evening ski or night skiing as well. And it's quite popular to go evening skiing as well this place. So skiing is a major factor in this country. It's a big thing and a big part of our national heritage.
Is it expensive?
They feel expensive. Like a season card, like for the whole season for a ski resort, will roughly cost you about $750 for the whole season. For a normal day pass countries here in Europe, for example France or Austria or Switzerland, there's also a big ski resort. So the skiing here in Norway is not so expensive than in those places. So I think that's also the reason why there's so many people from Netherlands and Denmark, Sweden, England and Germany coming to Norway and go skiing here. Because it's small here and it's not so expensive, but there's also a very different experience from the other countries like the Alps of Europe as well. So skiing in Norway is quite nice because we also do have upper ski as it's called as well. So do have troubadours playing music and selling glühwein, which is like warm wine, and also some Jäger tea and some Irish coffee, of course, is really popular. So skiing in Norway is quite nice here as well. But most people will alternate. If you have like a week off in the winter time, they will take like 2 or 3 days going cross-country skiing and then 2 or 3 days going alpine skiing as well. So it's really important for us winter in this area. And soon guys, Christmas is coming up, and I'm really looking forward to Christmas. It's a special time here in Norway because most of the times we have white Christmas. And in Norway and also in Scandinavia, we celebrate Christmas I think the way it should be celebrated, because you guys are military power and there's also been a bigger population as well. Because as I said before, Norway was not one kingdom before, but we reunited by between Harald the Fine and Olav the Holy. And then Norway became one country. But then Norway, Sweden and Denmark was in a union called Kalmar Union. And then that union broke up after a couple of hundred years, and then we're under control of Sweden. But then Sweden and Denmark had a war, and Sweden lost. And then one of the things that invaded April 9, 1940, and Sweden was neutral to the whole war. But Sweden allowed the Nazis to use the railroads and roads in Sweden to attack Norway from that side as well. That's why there's always been a little bit of friction between Norway and Sweden after that one. And as I said before, I forgot about it, but some of you went to the toilets in the place we stopped at Troll's Wall. And next to the toilet you can see like a railroad carriage. And that one is really important in history. Because when the Nazis was invading Norway in 1940, they came with the massive flagship of the Blucher, as well, the massive
Og trollmor har lagt sine 11 små troll og bundet dem fast i sin hale. Så synger hun vakreste ord som hun kan til sine små 11 små troll. Ai, 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 buff! Ai, 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 buff! Ai, 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 buff, buff! Ai, 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 buff! A typical troll lullaby. My mother used to sing to me all the time, and you can see up to the normally. Thank you very much, thank you. In my head, guys, that was amazing, so hope you enjoyed it as well. And it's a typical troll lullaby the parents are singing for the kids here in this country. And also there's a lot of troll movies, troll TV series and troll cartoons as well. And troll you will see everywhere. You have Trollstigen, Troll Gästegård, Trollvägen, Troll Lake, Troll Mountain, Troll everything is there. Yeah, you can see now also on the right, you can see those ferries I'm talking about. And the reason why I said before is so many ferries and so many bridges on that area because the fjords are too deep. The fjords inside there is roughly about 200 meters deep. In this area is not too bad, about 60 meters deep in this area. So lots of fish, as I said before. Codfish is also a national fish in Norway. Codfish with a beautiful beard as a national fish in this country. Massive halibuts. And the halibuts is bigger than me, 100 to 150 kilos bigger than halibuts be. think you're calling one fish, I think you call it trout salmon. And then in Scandinavia and Europe it's called sea salmon. So it can be a little bit of a confusion for people coming here and ordering salmon from the sea and then getting trout salmon, as you call it. So lots of fish here, but we also do have whales, a lot of whales swimming around in this area. And outside my house is only about 40 meters away from the sea. And about a month ago I had about 10 whales swimming past my house. And I'm not sure what kind of whales it was because I only see them from about 300-400 meters away, but I can see them coming up and down, up and down, up and down, and I counted about 10 of them. It can either be the orcas, which are quite not big ship, but a larger boat. Bruvik is called, it's about 150 years old, quite nice old cruise liner. And I was standing up in the cabin with the captain and speaking with the microphone there. As I said before, Norway used to be the small brother in Scandinavia, but that was before Norway invented oil, and then we became a new big brother here. So in the old days it was quite popular for us to go over to Sweden and work there, and Swedish people come and shop with us. But now it all turned around, and now the Swedish people come and work for us, and we will go shopping there. But the richest country here in Scandinavia is Denmark right now. So if you take the currency of Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark is all the krone. So for 100 krone in Sweden, we get like 110 Swedish crowns. But for 100 krone in Denmark, we only get about 60. So in Denmark, the currency is a lot stronger than here. And then, of course, in the mid-1800s, we also had the big emigration going over to USA. And again, Norway lost about 50% of the population there. So half the population first in the Black Plague, and then half the population once again for the big emigration. And then Norway is the country that has the highest percentage of the population going over to USA. So right now they're walking around and finding the two biggest and nicest trees there. And they will send it off with the big ship going over the Atlantic coast as well. There's one in Times Square and one in Trafalgar Square for Norway. But thankfully we are not living in Bergen. Bergen, or Bergen as you will say, is a city south from here. And in Bergen it rains 300 days of the year.
Oh my goodness.
There's quite a lot of people, as you can see, lots of houses here. But in many places have less people, and they also have schools. And in Geiranger, in the kindergarten in Geiranger is about 8 kids, and in the school there is about 12 kids. And also many tombstones here in Norway has beautiful birds on top of the tombstones.
It is beautiful.
And the bird represent you're free to fly now. And inside all the churches here in Norway, they always have like a big ship hanging down from the ceiling. Massive rock will slide into the fjord, will create a massive wave. And that wave before has wiped out houses and communities before inside the fjord. And a beautiful big river, massive river here with lots of salmon in it. So this is strawberry country, guys. This is strawberry country. This is where Beatles came and saw the inspiration for Strawberry Fields Forever. And also Norwegian wood. See now, guys, everywhere is strawberry field. This is all strawberry production. Wow. They produce roughly 700 tons of strawberry here each summer. Massive industry. There we are, guys. The other bus just arrived as well. This is the place, guys. This is a Jordbærstova lunch, guys. Ja. Ska du väl tillbaka lite till här också? Det är ingenting.
Welcome to Jordbærstova. It doesn't look like it at the moment, but this is one of the most famous places in Norway that produces strawberries. Oh, wow. It doesn't look like it at the moment, but that's why we're named Jordbærstova. Jordbær means strawberry. As you can see, it's quite cramped here today. We're fitted, I think it's 91.
Right now, guys, we are leaving Valldal. We're going to go up a little bit in the mountain. And we're going to go to Gudbrandsdjuret, as it's called. And that's it's a big gorge with a nice big river flowing. And as I said on the road, we are closely getting to Gudbrandsdjuret, which is a nice place. I wish that we were back in July, end of July right now, because then we could just have strawberries everywhere. It's incredible, this place. And see all the hydropower, a very tiny hydropower. And then to the left of that hydropower, you can see like small steps in the river. And those are something called the laksedrap, which is the salmon stairs. And it's for the salmon and not to get blocked off from swimming further up the river because of hydroplants. So then they have to build like small steps for the salmon to swim up there as well.
You see it's snowing. It's snowing here in Norway today. It's half rain and snow right now.
Here is two separate Norwegian languages, two different Norwegian languages. One Norwegian language is called bokmål, and the other one is called nynorsk. And bokmål means a book language, and nynorsk means new Norwegian. And the reason for why there's two separate Norwegian languages here in this country is because Norway, as I said before, has always been a small brother in Scandinavia, and for many 100 years under control of Sweden and Denmark. But bokmål from Danish language and nynorsk more from the old dialect, if you like. So as I said before, when you're speaking bokmål and reading bokmål and reading Danish is the same. But speaking Norwegian and speaking Danish is completely opposite. It's a whole different ball game there, guys. It's a very different language. And the Danish language is a more guttural and more thick language, if you like, because it has remained untouched. And when we are getting new stuff into Norway, for example, like a laptop or a mobile phone or something like this, we just call it a mobile, we just call it a laptop. But in Iceland, they take that word and translate it into something really old Norwegian, if you like. So the people in Iceland, I can understand us pretty well, but we have problems understanding them because their language has evolved as well. And the Finland language is from another family tree and completely
completely different from the rest of the languages here in the north. Very, very different. And hearing a Finnish person speaking on the phone is the most hilarious thing you'll ever encounter. That's completely funny to hear. But again, Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, Icelandic, like similar, and the words and the numbers, especially numbers, are very, very similar. For example, 1, 2, 3 in Norway and Denmark is the same. 1, 2, 3 in Norway and Denmark is 1, 2, 3. In Sweden they say 1, 2, 3. In Iceland 1 ur, 2 ur, 3 ur. But then in Finland, yksi, kaksi, kolme. So all different language they have up there, guys. So, all different language. And when we are saying cheers, like taking a drink and cheering, then we're saying skål. Skål is what we say. And in Finland they say kippis. So it's a very, very different language. And thankfully about 20% of the people in Finland also speak Swedish. So we can communicate with them normally also, but most of the time we have to take English a little bit back now, guys. We're gonna follow the fjords. I'm sure some of you are a little bit tired of hearing my voice all day, and also a little bit tired of having a big lunch. So I'm just gonna be quiet for a little bit while here and just let you enjoy the fjord view. So soon we're gonna follow the fjords, and then I'm gonna start talking again when we're getting closer to Alesund. I'm gonna let you know more about the history of Alesund and also more about the old gods and Vikings that is surrounding Alesund as well. So right now, guys, a little bit break from my voice up here, guys. So don't you worry about it. I'll be back.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with me. I really look forward to talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.